Tilta just released the second generation of its amazing NUCLEUS-M. It is the next step in a product line that has been one of the best affordable wireless lens control systems over the past 8 years. The new NUCLEUS-M II keeps all the classic features that we know, but I can safely say that it has pushed the boundaries in almost every area. It is much more advanced. You can control up to 4 motors. The motors are smaller, lighter, but more powerful, faster and more precise. It has a Bluetooth connection that allows you to remotely control camera settings. You can map and save presets for up to 128 lenses. It is compatible not only with the first generation motors, but also with nano motors, with DJI RS gimbals, and also in a more advanced configuration, in a way even with DJI Transmission System, and it has a lot of other improvements which I will tell you about in a moment. The first version was so good that it is still the first and only choice for many professional filmmakers. Does this mean that the next generation is so good that it will work for us for another 8 years? Or maybe even longer? Let's find out. Stop that. Let's start with the fuse unit. While the basic functionality is the same, a lot has changed. In addition to the new design, we have a new colorful and much larger touchscreen, 2 smaller ones for the zoom and iris indicators, and another one on the fantastic new removable electronic focus ring. Here you can simply remove it and replace it with a traditional ring. Another new feature is the adjustable handwheel damping, which allows you to adjust the resistance of the main wheel. What is great is that you can now switch the focus wheel to the right or left side depending on your needs. Next improvement that I am especially happy about is the NPF battery power supply, which is much more versatile. On the front you will find the quick access buttons that we know from the first version and the zoom rocker. And on the back, the iris slider and small knob that allows you to change the speed of the motors, but more importantly, you can also use it to remotely control a fourth motor, which can be a classic or a new fantastic electronic variable ND. Of course, the functions of the large and small knobs, rocker and slider can be configured in the menu depending on which motor you want to assign to them. On the top you will find a 7-pin eXT port and USB-C port that has several optional functions, and a quick release expansion port for upcoming new features. It also comes with a special bracket that allows you to mount the fuse unit and monitor to a tripod. The menu is extremely easy and intuitive. You will find all basic and advanced parameters in it, but also a lot of new settings, which Nick from Tilta has covered in great detail in the upcoming video, so if you need a very precise tutorial, make sure to follow Tilta channel. One of the most important new features, in my opinion, is lens data presets, thanks to which you can perfectly match, calibrate and save up to 128 presets of your lenses. And thanks to this, the position indicators on the display will perfectly match with the actual position of the lens, and that is something absolutely fantastic. You can also find the exact lens mapping process in the Tilta tutorial. Another great new feature is the remote camera control. Here you can control stop-stop recording, frame rates, resolution, shutter speed, ISO, ND filters, and even white balance. You can connect compatible cameras via Bluetooth or a 7-pin to USB-C adapter. You can find a full list of compatible cameras and connection types on the Tilta website, but I'm also sure that this list is going to grow over time. The new motors are smaller, lighter, but also more powerful, faster and more precise. The response time is only 20 milliseconds. The motors have quite a wide voltage range, so you can power them from many different batteries with a D-tap cable and even straight from the more professional cameras, which is pretty cool. The first thing you will notice is the larger color display showing channel number, assigned function, torque level, speed, runtime, gear position and even a recording icon. You can access the most important settings directly from the motor menu, but also from the fuse unit itself. Colors of the LED indicators correspond to the assigned function, that is focus, zoom, iris or ND. If you need, you can completely turn off both the LED indicator and the display itself. Another thing is that the eXT port placement is much better, thanks to which the serial connection of motors is much more organized. Exchangeable gears can be replaced in just a few seconds, and you can easily move the focus gear to the other side of the motor. The set includes a mounting for 15 and 19mm rods. Here, when it comes to design, there are no major changes. A slightly larger display, a knob on the front with a limiter just like in the old version, a rec button at the top. It also supports NPF battery power, and you can also power it via USB-C located right next to EXT port. The zoom rocker is new, much more sensitive, and what's cool is that you can switch it from your right hand to your left hand extremely quickly. The set includes a bracket that allows you to mount the handles directly to your rig. Now, when we know what it looks like, it's time to check how it works in a few basic configurations. This is the simplest setup, handheld shooting, where you don't use the fuse unit, just the handles. Here basically everything works pretty much like in the first version, but you'll definitely notice the difference in motor performance. The increased power and precision really stand out, especially with bigger cinema lenses. Everything works smoothly, and thanks to the wider range of speed and smoothness settings, the motors gives you incredibly cinematic movements. Honestly, I think it works better than even the best servo zoom lenses. Here, of course, you can also customize the functions of the dials and rocker according to your needs. However, this is the kind of setup where having a focus puller really makes a difference. Another more advanced setup, where you are the camera operator, focus only on framing, while your first IC handles the rest. Personally, I like keeping zoom control for myself because I prefer to decide when and how to reframe. So I control zoom from the handle, while focus, iris and ND go to my assistant. Now, something that every focus puller will appreciate is possibility to move the knob to the left or right side. It is not only a good option for left-handed people, but there are also situations when you want to have the iris slider in front of you. Another thing that is definitely a game changer is the lens mapping feature. You can adjust the focus, zoom and iris extremely precisely, and what's more important, you save a lot of time on set. You change the lens, upload the presets and you're ready to shoot. The new electronic focus ring is simply fantastic, really very bright and high contrast, so you can see very well even in very bright conditions. What's more, in addition to the exact position of the lens, you will also find a depth of field indicator which reflects how aperture affects your focus range. And of course the game changer for pro workflows, remote camera control. This is a big deal for setups that require full remote control, such as car mounts and cable cam, in other words, anywhere where you are not physically holding the camera. Now you can instantly change key camera settings and have full face control, including variable ND. This is a game changer, especially for car shots, because you don't need to pull over just to tweak exposure. And controlling ND in real time is a huge benefit because lighting conditions change constantly. Such advanced control reminds me a little of working with the amazing Ronin 4D, but of course with a much smaller range. Keep in mind that if you control the camera via Bluetooth, the range of the signal is 10 meters according to the specifications. That's more than enough when you are in the chase car, but if you need longer range, the USB-C connection uses the Nucleus motor protocol, which means in low mode the range is about 60 meters, in medium mode 100 and in high mode 150 meters. Of course, real-world range depends on your environment. In my early test, I hit 300 meters in open space without any problem, while in complex and busy areas with many solid walls, everything still worked without any signal loss. However, let's keep in mind that these are only my first tests. But there's more. If you need that crazy space coverage that DJI Transmission gives us, I have a great option for you. A combination of DJI, Tilta, Ignite, Digi and Signal Audio. It is an extremely advanced, fully remote controlled camera setup, and you will not find anything on the market that works with such fantastic results. You need a Ronin 2 or Ronin RS, DJI Transmission with hybrid monitor, control deck with fusion hub and Tilta motors. They can be of course motors from the old Nucleus or even from the Nucleus Nano. Now on my channel you can find my control deck review, but in a few words, it is a control panel which allows us to control Ronin 4D, Inspire 3 and gimbal from DJI using DJI Transmission. And thanks to the additional fusion hub module, we can also control Tilta motors and even movie gimbals, and all this with the insane DJI level range. And the best part is actually simple. You connect the Fusion Hub module to the DJI Transmission, then you connect the DJI Ron into it and the Tilta motors to another port, and that's it. In this brilliant way, the control deck controls not only the camera movement, but also stop-stop recording, zoom, focus, iris, and even the most important motor settings and gimbal options, all with the incredible range of DJI Transmission. Of course, you don't have control all by yourself, and there are many different control configurations. For example, the control deck only controls the camera movement and zoom, while you can still control the iris, focus, and variable ND with the fizz. Of course, in this situation the working range of the zoom will be much larger because it works with DJI technology, while focus and iris still run on the Tilta protocol, but I'm sure the guys from Ignite Digi and Signal Audio will find a way to make sure that this configuration also fully utilizes the potential of DJI Transmission. Like I said, there are a lot of options, but that's a story for another episode, so stay tuned. Much more advanced, extremely versatile and incredibly compatible. All for less than $1,500, which is a pretty solid deal. At this point I could stop because there is probably nothing more to say. What's more, I honestly believe that even if it cost much more, it would still be worth the price. In fact, when it comes to a conventional, affordable wireless follow focus, the Nucleus has no competition. Sure, you could compare it to DJI Focus Pro, but to me these two systems are made for different users. DJI Focus is ultra versatile, fully integrated with DJI Pro's ecosystem, but with the LiDAR sensor you can turn any lens into an autofocus one. And for me, it is always the first choice in situation where I work alone. Of course, it also has the options of classic wireless control, where you can also use auto manual focus mode and LiDAR waveform, which is extremely helpful. On the other hand, it seems to me that the new Nucleus is designed more for professional focus pullers who don't really need such advanced options such as the LiDAR sensor, and all they need is precise position indicators and more ways to adapt to specific personal needs. So I guess it all depends on the kind of project you are working on, and for the most basic needs of remote lens and camera control, I am sure that the new Nucleus is a great upgrade and will meet even the most challenging expectations. So guys, that's all for today. I hope that video was helpful. Thanks for all the comments and likes, and see you in the next one.